Hi everyone, welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Wade Acuff, and this is the last video challenge for this month. I hope you've enjoyed them. There will be some coming next month, so don't worry about that. But this is the last one I will be hosting, and I've been super excited to do this. And we've got something a little different today. A little different. I think it's fun, and we're going to be talking about customizing presentations. This is going to be very specific. We can just jump into it. Well, before we do, I want to say hello to chat. What's up, chat? Also, this is not live. Yes, this is a pre-record. I intend to be in the chat. We'll see what happens. But yes, this is another pre-record, but I think it's going to be a fun one. Let's take a look at what's happening. So we are going to be working in Express some today. So we have Adobe Express up and ready to go. And this is the little project, getting together a local sketching group, and it's called Shop Talk, a place to talk shop, where we go to a coffee shop and just sit around, sketch, and talk shop. I have a couple of slides here. If you didn't know, Adobe Express also has presentations, and these are some of the slides for the presentations. But I wanted to look at these and take the elements that are available in Adobe Express, which is what we have here. If you go into elements and you look up icons, that's all I did to find these, and I typed in coffee cup. I also found the background also in Express to use. You could of course make your own. Obviously, you can, with any of these things, you can make your own. But I found some cups that I thought I would use. This one, I want to add a little latte art, which is what we'll talk about here in After Effects in a moment. Same thing with this one. I want to add my own little steam lines. I have art fuel here. I don't know, I tend to get a bit cheesy in some of this stuff. You can be as sophisticated as you would like. Pinkies out if you dare. And then I like this little cup with a lightning bolt. Thought this was pretty interesting. That's all of this is in Adobe Express. But let's talk about this latte art. And what we're going to do is jump into After Effects. And you know what? Let's make this a little easier on everybody. Let's change, well, let's do this over here. It's not to be jarring. Hey, let's see if it works during the live pre-record. Hey, look at that. Okay, a little bit bigger for you. But we're going to go ahead and add a solid background, Control Y in After Effects to do that. And I'm just going to go with white, because what we're going to do is draw our elements with black line over white, because we're going to use a multiply function. And we'll talk about that when we go back into Express. But let's focus on the latte art for now. Pen tool. I'm going to grab the pen tool up here. Make sure you're not selected on any of the layers. Right now we only have the white solid, and we have a black stroke set to this, and we can just start drawing. And I do have the title action safe up just so I can see my center line, because I only want to draw half of this, because we're going to use the mirror effect to create the rest of it. And I'm going to be really honest here. I'm going to do a rough version of this, and I do have a pre-made version, but I'm trying to make a little bit of latte art, so even like the real thing, it's not something you come to easily and quickly. This is really bad, and I'm okay. It's okay. I can admit that. I'm going to come in here and change a few things. Let's see. Break some of these around. You could edit this all day long if you wanted to change this to make this actually look right. And it works a lot like the pen tool in Illustrator, if you're familiar. And you can take the time to shape this. And even on a pre-record doing it live, without practice, it's a little rough. So I'm going to say magic, out of the oven. We've got one waiting for us over here. Oh, look at that. We're all ready to go. So we've got our half of the latte art, but I want to add some animation to this. And I also want to make sure that we have the circle that it's going to fit into. Let's go back, jump back over real quick into Express. The circle this is going to fit into, I want to draw one just for reference in After Effects. So all I'm going to do for that is make sure nothing is selected. I want this to be on a separate layer. I'm going to come in the middle here and just hold down Shift and Alt or Option. And I'm just using this as a guide, just so that I know the curve would be fine. And I would be using this, I've already done it here, but I would have used it on the prior one when I was building it, so that you could like use that as a guide to know that it would fit within that circle. Anyway, get rid of that. Get rid of that. I'll drag it down below so we don't need it. I'm going to lock our background layer so I don't deal with that, and lock the hidden one. But I just want to let you know that you can do that as a guide. It'll help you out a little bit. Okay, what do we want to do? We want to add mirror effect to this. Look at this. We already have it. But if you were typing in your effects, you can just type mirror, press enter. It will apply it. Hello? Oh, I think we need to be selected on it. Now it will apply it. Now nothing happened, or it looks like nothing happened. Something did in fact happen. It is applied. If you look over here, you select the layer and you look in your effects controls, it's up there. But the thing is, its center is all the way to the edge. I'm not sure why, but if you start to pull it in, oh, look what's happening. Ta-da! We have our latte art. Something like that. But it's not doing anything. It's just sitting there. We want to add some animation. And I've used this before, and man, it is super handy. Let's use it again. Trim paths. And I'm going to open up our trim paths. You can just add that through the contents add trim paths right there. And I'm going to animate the end of this. Let's see. So I'm going to make sure, yes, that's what I want. I want to go 0 the end out. There's a start, end, and an offset. We're only going to animate the end. And I'm going to come in here about, I don't know, a second or so. And then add another keyframe by taking this to 100%. And then we get something like that. But I want to add an easy ease to this. So I'm going to grab both of those keyframes, press F9, maybe even pop into the graph editor and select them and just ease them out just a little bit more. I think I'm in the speed graph. Yes, you could go to value graph as well. Change that. But I think we're good. Let's see what's happening. It's a little fast. I might move this out just a little bit. We'll adjust this later. I'll leave it at 1 for now. But I also want to animate. Let's take advantage of that mirror effect. I'm going to press U so I can still see my end, so I can get these keyframes as a reference. And then let's see, what do I want to do? I'm going to control, nope, Shift P. Is that right? Yep, to add our position attribute. And then add 2 keyframes at the same locations as the other one in the timeline. But I want to move this whole frame to the right here. So it's going to move back to the left to get back to center. But what that looks like is this. So it's a little bit more latte art, like it's building. But I definitely want to add an easy ease to this one, F9. I am going to go in here and then go back to the speed graph so that I can adjust this. Slow down at the end and at the beginning. Back out of our graph editor. We got something to look like that. Now it is very fast. That's okay. We can grab all of this, hold down Alt, it'll slide everything. We only have 2 frames, so you really just have to pull out the 2 frames right now. That's looking a little bit better to me, but I want to make sure that this is repeatable. And there's a simple expression that we've used every time. I've kind of been secretly trying to drive this home, that you can use these simple expressions and get some extra boost out of your animation. I do want to come down a little bit and add, let's see, Shift T for our opacity. And I'm going to add a couple of keyframes here. Keyframes at each location. And we're doing this for the specifically for the loop function. So I'm going to have the opacity set to 100, and then I want it to go to 0 by the end of this. Let's see what that looks like real quick. And it fades out. Maybe we fade out a little bit slower. Something like this. Okay, looks good to me. But I want to add a loop out to this. And what you want to make sure you do is, even with this end and position keyframes, go ahead and add that third keyframe. You're not changing the position. You're not changing where the trim paths is being edited or changing any of the values. You're just making sure that when you add this expression by Shift, Alt, or Option equal, and then start typing loop out, you can just select it once you see it. Make sure if you're pressing enter that you're using the number pad if you have one, because if you don't press the number pad, it will add another line to your expression. You're not looking to do that, and you may accidentally type something. I am going to copy and select this so that when I just Shift Alt or Option Control V or Command V if you're on a Mac. Same thing with the opacity. Shift Alt Option, Shift Alt equal, Control V. There we go. Now when we loop this out, we should get something that loops like this, and it will loop forever, or to the end of your timeline. And that's what we rendered out. So we've got something like this already ready for us to go over in our project in Adobe Express. Okay, back into it. Let's head back over and apply this. So one of the problems is, just so you know, and you probably already know where this is going, and that's fine, is this image is just a solid icon. And as far as I know, unless you guys know different, and you can tell me, you could tell me in chat, but may not be there to receive it, but you can always reach out to me and tell me if there's a better way to do this, because I don't think there's masking yet in Adobe Express, but you can use in your elements again. Let's just close that out. I think we're still in elements. You can come over to shapes. You have to not have anything in the search bar unless you're searching for a specific shape. And I'm just going to grab a circle. And I'm just going to mask this out manually with a little, white. And it works well with white. That is the reason I've chosen white here. Obviously, if you're doing this over something else, it's not quite the same as masking. You could color this how you would like, and then use a multiply or whatever you need to do to try and match, but it's going to be more difficult. But for our use case, this specific case, I just want to go and upload, and we're going to grab our line. Oh, that's the wrong one. Delete, upload, latte art 2, and then let's play it. And it looks good to me. Looks like we're good to go. I've already rendered this, obviously. But then we do have the issue of the white around here, but that is as simple as going to hit multiply. And then we can pull this into place. Center it as best you can. And you can align to center if you'd like. It's on center, but maybe the image is not centered, which is probably the case. But I'm going to pull this in as best I can right there. Looks good to me. And now when we play this, it should loop through. And if we go into present mode, present from first page, it's going to show up as blank. But if you hit the space bar, it will start animating or start showing you your video. Now, if you wanted to, you could stop. If it runs for 30 seconds, at the last frame, you could stop on the art, so it's not fading out. And I believe it would stop there. It may just not be available. So if you plan this for a custom presentation, you might want to have whatever you're saying ready for the length, give yourself a little bit of time, because then you can just pop forward and go to the next frame. Just a note if you're going to do that. But speaking of the next frame, we've got our sketchy benefits, and this was all taken from sources. The sources are listed below. Do believe in this, by the way. This is something that I'm excited to get something local going with a sketch, kind of a sketch club, because all of these things are true. I have seen the benefits. I've seen the sketchy benefits. But back to our art. I want to get rid of the top steam waves, little heat waves here. And we know, what do we do with that? Super simple. I'm gonna add a shape, drag it over the top, change the color. And you know, like this, like I keep saying, you can modify this over this white because that's how this was working, but it doesn't mean you can't just bring in a video with a multiply layer and put it on anything. It could be on top of anything. But we're gonna go from here. Now let's go and create those lines. And I'm just gonna make a new comp for this. New comp, enter, Control Y. There's our white solid. I'm gonna lock that into place. Make sure I'm not selected on anything. Go up here to our pen, and I'm gonna create, you can see the little star. That means you're about to make a shape layer. And I'm gonna hold shift just so that the Bezier curve will lock to a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to, you know what, I'm gonna do this a little bit more over the center. And then, you know, I might not want that curve to be quite 45, but let's end it somewhere down here. I don't know, it looks good, looks fine to me, maybe up a little bit. I don't know, you can adjust this however you see fit, but I want to get rid of that cap. I want to give a cap on here that's not broken or not, you know, cut off like that. Ooh, this curve is not good, by the way. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit. Okay, much better. All right, in the stroke property, you can come down here to line cap. We don't want a butt cap, we want a round cap. So now our cap is rounded, life is good. Again, let's add some trim paths to this. And I am gonna use the start on the trim paths for this one and just add a keyframe, and then I'm gonna move down, zoom in a little bit on our timeline. Where's our 1 second? I'm gonna bring this in. And let's see, actually I do want to have this at 100%. I believe that's right. Let's see, is that going, yeah, that's going the right way. And 0% at the end, so we got 100 at the beginning, 0 at the end. Now, this is fine. We could add a loop to this. Ooh, that line is still bothering me. Let's see if we can fix it real quick. Let's see, back in here, content, shape. Here we go. Just trying to match the curve a little bit. Okay, get that out of the way. Back to our trim paths. I do want this would be fine. We could loop this and it would just start from the top, go to the bottom. But I want a little bit of a chase. So on our end for our trim path, I'm gonna add a keyframe. And then let's see, what did I do? How many frames are we? Let's go back to one, right, what is this? I'm gonna do 10 frames. Is that 10 frames? Okay, 20 frames. And we'll probably adjust this for speed, but I'm gonna go 20 frames. I'm pressing shift and the page down, it jumps 10 frames in your timeline. Add a frame there, and then I want there to be a little bit of a chase going on. So if I reduce this, it's at 100%. If I reduce this at the end, and then take a look at this, we get a little bit of a chase. So now that line is disappearing. It is slow for me. So I'm gonna grab all of these, press Alt or Option, and drag these back. I like so. Still too slow. I want this be a little zippy. Okay. Okay, that works for me. We do have this pre-rendered, so I'm not really about to render this. You know how this goes. I lost my feed. I don't know how long ago I lost the video feed, but let's keep rolling. I'm going to turn that off, though, if possible. There we go. Let's see. Is that the frame? Yeah, I think we're still good. All right. Sorry about that. But we're going here. I wonder how long that's been. It's okay. It's fine. But you can see the line is moving up. We're good to go. I mean, a live stream is going to live stream whether it's pre-recorded or not. Okay. So we got that going up. What were we doing? Where were we? Oh, speed wise. So we're good on speed. If you want to grab this, yeah, we did that. Alt, hold down Alt to arrange that. All right. What I want to do is add multiple lines to this. We could add to the same shape, but just to make it a little bit cleaner, I'm going to duplicate this 3 times and grab these and move these out to taste. I do want these to be in order because what you could do, I am going to select all of them and hit our align features and come over to distribute horizontally, and it'll just put them out equally. And now we got something like this. We got our little heat waves going on. So not too shabby. But if you wanted to, you could stagger these. Let's see. One there, staggered. Let's go. So you could stagger it. I like them where they're individually not. I like them as they are all together, like the original way. And that's what I've rendered out for us. And we're going to add those real quick to our Express. Let's see. Back over here. We've already blocked this out. We've added a shape. Now all we have to do, now all we have to do is upload. Come over to our upload, grab our heat waves. Scale this up. Obviously, we want them to be about the same line width. And we can roll this back to get them all in there. Come over here to hit our, go to our multiply. That's looking pretty good. Play it, make sure it works. Oh, maybe up a little bit. All right, works for me. And now when we go in this, we see our presentation. We'll go to present from current page. Again, you'll have to hit the space bar, and then we get a little custom action going there. I think it's pretty cool. And then we got one more page to deal with. Now this one is all done in Express, even the animation we're going to add. But I wanted to show you, again, you can make your, we can't custom shape. We can't make custom shapes as far as I know. I am looking at the camera, even though you can't see it. I'm directing this directly to chat. If there's a way to do this, let me know. But this is the solution I came up with. I just blocked these out with our group here. I grouped these all together. But if I change the opacity, you can see that these are just shapes that I fit this image to, behind it, so that you could have a solid image. I didn't find an icon of this one that was solid, so I couldn't just use the icon as it was. But be creative in your solutions. That's a simple enough trick. But then grouping this together, you can add an animation to group. I'm going to make sure we add a jitter to this because I like the lightning bolt. I want the speed to be really high. Intensity, that's fine. I just want a little bit. I don't want it super distracting. If I bumped it up there, that's just too much for me. So a little bit of this. And so, yeah, it says sketch plus chat plus chill. Join us for a spill. But let's see if we can add a splill. See if we can add a spill. If you go to media and you search for splotch, I know this exists. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. I'm going to grab another image, another video, pull this up, drag it behind everything, and we can use our same little trick of multiply, and we play it. There's a little spill happening. We can scale it up a little bit more, add some speed to it. Let's see what that looks like. Not bad, but we can also come in here and effect duotone this. If we go into our options, we can turn our highlights off, so it's still multiplying that white, and then we can change this to like, a coffee color. Potentially, you could go with that orange. It wouldn't be too bad. Keep it on theme. But there you go. We've got our last page. Now, the only difference here is our spill will disappear after you present. Let's go to the present from the current page. If you hit the space bar, everything starts, and it's kind of cute. Actually, it's staying on. Okay, it goes off afterwards. Maybe you could have something else as a standby in there. But that is the the grouping method of adding animation to a group, and you know we're happy to find that little splotch spill that we could put in there. I thought that was a really cool way to kind of wrap up this whole thing. If we look through the presentation from the first page, it looks like this. We can get to our shop talk and talk a little shop, and you know, come join us, blah 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 blah. And there are some benefits to sketching, blah 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 blah. And you can start your animation by pressing spacebar, and then you know, come join us. And I am looking again at the camera; it is off. But that's going to do it for us today. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Stick around for more Adobe Live, and we'll hopefully see you real soon with the camera back on. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.